Alfie Garrett then will start on pole position with Ralph Martin alongside Ansel Murray and Oakley Riggs on row 2, Elijah Sang and Sydney Nell on row number 3. Then it's Harley Bradbury Stretton with Junior Wright, Max Joy and Heath Smith complete your top 10 with Jensen James Williams and Hadley Jarvis on row number 6. Then it's Jude Taylor and Ava Garrett, Oscar Maskell and Arthur Bath with Henry Ward rounding out your MightE Bambino grid of 17 runners here at Warden Law. Of course, in the top right hand corner there, sponsored by the Junior Saloon Kart Championship, and we've got a couple of other partners as well in KKC, Optimum Motorsport, Fibre King and Circuit Watchers, all providing support to the championship. Circuit Watchers, one that I'm going to focus on right now, is I've got the difficult job of picking out a driver of the day, which they will be awarded a brand new, the first of its kind circuit watch worth £395 to the driver of the day at every round this year, being given to us by Circuit Watchers. We're going to find out more about them throughout the year, as well as that emerging brand into the UK in terms of motorsport and everything else that surrounds it as well comes to the fore. Runners into position then. Looks like they're going to clear the grid as they're being instructed to do so for our MightE Bambino heat number 3. The 42 of Alfie Garrett has won both heats so far today. So they're going to get themselves into position. Parent helpers making their way off. So I'm just having a quick look at the previous heat to see whether anybody picked up any penalties. Didn't. Nice and clean for our MightE Bambinos. And the lights are out and we are away and racing. It's a good start from Garrett. It's a good start from Ansel Murray off the 3rd place, the inside of the 2nd row, as he finds his way through in front of Ralph Martin as the field make their way down towards turn number 1. And Ansel Murray, as we've got the 31 of Oakley Riggs, who was in 4th place last time, and Sydney Nell, who was in 6th place, both facing the wrong way off and onto the grass. So Oakley Riggs with plenty of work to do now to get back up into his 4th place that he was at the end of heat number 2. It looks like Elijah Sang then is now moved up into 4th place. In the background, we'll see the gold cart making its way through, I believe, in 4th place. The top 3, though, are the same top 3 that were in place at the pretty much have been all meeting so far, with the 42 of Alfie Garrett leading from Ansel Murray and the 32 of Ralph Martin. Breaking away this top 3 in this MightE Bambino heat. Ansel Murray goes very, very wide. Ralph Martin goes to the inside, but may have scrubbed off some speed in going tight, but he's going to have track position as they head down towards turn 1 here at Warden Law. Ansel Murray's going to try and keep it round the outside, but then we'll have the door closed and Ralph Martin will move up into 2nd place. Good move from Martin, taking advantage of Ansel Murray going wide and then having to scrub off some speed. Now Ansel Murray's going to try and get back to the inside of Ralph Martin as they make their way towards the centre 1 hairpin. This time it's Ralph Martin go slightly wide. Will that allow Ansel Murray to try and get a run towards the back chicane? Don't think he's close enough. And this is really playing into the hands of the double race winner, Alfie Garrett, who is starting to move away. In the first sector alone was 3/10 quicker. The gap already out to somewhere near a 2nd in front of Ralph Martin and the number 1 plate, the reigning champion of Ansel Murray. And the field now beginning to spread out at the front of our MightE Bambino class. The top 3 fairly equidistant between all of them. Alfie Garrett's got a gap of 0.8 of a second, then it's another half a second back to Ansel Murray in 3rd place. What they will have to encounter, though, fairly shortly, as they did in heat number 2, is some lap traffic. Lap time for our MightE Bambinos at the moment, around about the 1 minute and 9 mark. So in around about 2.5, 3 laps time, there may well be some lap traffic as JJ Williams drops down the order into 11th place, loses 5 places on that previous lap, so dropping down from 6th place down into 11th. Jude Taylor moves up into 12th as well at the expense of Ava Garrett and Oscar Maskell, 13th and 14th respectively. Your leading trio, though, seem to be migrating back together once again. Alfie Garrett had a gap of 0.8 of a second. Now it looks like Ralph Martin has closed right back up again on the 42 of Alfie Garrett. Definitely not 0.8 of a second there now. It's closer to 0.08, if anything, as they come over the line this time round. It's going to be a few tenths at most between Alfie Garrett and Ralph Martin. 2 tenths it is. Ansel Murray still there in the background. One overtaking opportunity here will put Ansel Murray right back into the mix. Ralph Martin, unsurprisingly, with that closing up there, sets the fastest lap of the race. A 1:08.27 is 7 tenths quicker than Alfie Garrett in front, and a tenth quicker than Ansel Murray behind as well, as they start to close right up onto the back of your race leader, the 42 of Alfie Garrett. Right-hander, through comes Ralph Martin. He's going to get down the inside as Garrett runs wide. Martin's going to have track position. Through he comes to take the lead. Ansel Murray closes right back up again. I said it was only going to take one overtaking opportunity, and he would be right there on the back of our race leader. Ansel Murray dives down the inside, takes 2 places in one corner, closes the door as well, holds on to the race lead. Ansel Murray then leads from Ralph Martin, and Garrett's going to drop down into 3rd place. Over the line they come then. Ansel Murray then leading from Ralph Martin and Alfie Garrett as they head down towards the first corner. There's some lap traffic in front as they sweep round the outside of the 38 of Henry Ward. Cleanly done by our leading trio. Into the right-hander, over the curb on the outside they go. Down start finish. There's more lap traffic in front as well as they negotiate the 10 of Hadley Jarvis. Still making their way through. It's all about traffic management now, getting through cleanly. We've seen earlier in this class and others as well, is when it comes to getting through that lap traffic, about how much they're able to, the field spread is when they come through. 1 overtake of lap traffic, if 2 get through and 1 doesn't, they can lose anywhere up to a second. Round the left-hander at the horseshoe, and the next left-hander, and the next left-hander, because it's a triple apex. Ansel Murray still holding on down the inside. Alfie Garrett tries to get to the inside of Ralph Martin and does so. There's some lap traffic in front that are in their own race. It's the 15 of Oscar Maskell and Ava Garrett that are in their own race between each other. They're making overtakes as well as the leading trio once again sweep round the outside nice and cleanly from our race leaders. 2.5 minutes remaining, plus that 1 lap as they bounce over and head towards the left-hander at St. John's. Running down towards the left-hander then at Senna. So Senna 1, and then they head towards Senna 2. Still Murray leading the way from Ralph Martin, as Martin seems once again to struggle around Senna 2. Seems to manage to catch a bump there every single time. They're going to find lap traffic in the middle of a corner here, and they're going to sweep all the way around the outside of the 17 of Jude Taylor, Ansel Murray, Ralph Martin, and the 42 of Alfie Garrett. Nice and clean as they come through, and then Garrett decides to send a move, half a move down the inside of Ralph Martin, has the door closed on him. Switching through, as we now see the 6 and the 88 of Elijah Sang. So the 6 is Harley Bradbury Stretton. In front of now Elijah Sang, that'd be up into 4th place. Bradbury Stretton goes in a little bit too tight. Elijah Sang looked like he was going to get the cut back there, but then gets some snap oversteer halfway round the hairpin. And that's going to lose him a little bit of time. Behind them, the 31 of Oakley Riggs, recovering back up into 6th place after that opening lap spin on the entry into the dogleg. Sidney Nelland, the other driver involved in that spin as well, down there on the opening lap has recovered up into 7th place, though is some 10 seconds behind this current battle between Bradbury Stretton and Sang. Head towards Senna 1. We follow the 10 going round there as well. That's Hadley Jarvis, currently in 15th place. Your leading trio now sees Ralph Martin finding a way through on Alfie Garrett. Ansel Smith dropping down from the lead into 3rd place this time round. 43 seconds remaining. Alfie Garrett sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:08.242, and then we'll go to the inside of Ralph Martin at the dogleg. Through he goes. Martin's going to try and hold this one out and try and get a move done on the outside, try and get the cutback and the run down towards centre 1, but Alfie Garrett is through and into the lead. So all 3 of this trio now at the front have had an opportunity to lead this race, and it's Alfie Garrett, who started the race on pole position, having won 2 heats so far today, is back at the head of the field in front of Ralph Martin and Ansel Murray. They'll see the last lap board when they come round this time, because as you can see in the top left corner of the screen, the timing is elapsing down to 0. Last lap will be shown on the board for the number 42 of Alfie Garrett when he comes through this time. Blue flag also shown because there's some lap traffic in front. There's your 3 leaders. Last lap board shown then on the overhead gantry for Alfie Garrett. Gap of 0.3 of a second. Then Ralph Martin and Ansel Murray. Still more lap traffic in front to negotiate, I think, in this one, as we'll keep an eye out. There's some more in front. They've got to find a way through cleanly. Don't want to throw it all away as they head onto this final lap. It's the 45 of JJ Williams in front of them as they go round St John's for the final time, then cut to the inside. Ansel Murray finds a way through in 3rd place as well, nice and clean. The trio still nose to tail as they go round centre 2 for the final time. Into the back chicane, 1 kart length between each of them. Half a second, splitting first down into 3rd place. Gasworks will be a good overtaking opportunity if any of them are close enough. Don't think they are. And I think this one could be going once again the way of Alfie Garrett. Can he keep the 100% record going for the heats? It could be 3 from 3 for Alfie Garrett. He's opened up the gap even more round the horseshoe into Paddock Bend for the final time. And Alfie Garrett makes it 3 heats and 3 victories in the 42 machine from Ralph Martin and Ansel Murray, your top 3. It looks like in the background we're going to see Oakley Riggs coming through. He was the driver that spun on the opening lap. He seems to have found a way past Bradbury Stretton and Sidney Nell, but we've got some 35 seconds before they come over the line, as we've still got a great battle going on here. Round the outside there is the 10 and the 18 machine. That's Heath Smith in 9th place. There's contact between the 2 of them, and they're going to face the wrong way. That's the 10 and the 11. Junior Wright, who was in 10th place, and the 10 of Hadley Jarvis. Don't think either of them are going to lose places there, but still having a bit of an excursion on the final lap. There's the 5 machine making the 15, sorry, making their way round. That's Max Joy in 8th place. Will cross the line. Sidney Nell will come through in a few moments' time for 6th. He's crossed the line. Then it's going to be Elijah Sang there in the gold machine coming through in front of Max Joy and Heath Smith. Junior Wright will complete your top 10, as JJ Williams has already taken the checkered flag here in 11th place in front of Jude Taylor. So that is MightE Bambino taking the checkered flag to complete their race.